Hey everyone, Charles here, and first of all, thank you for stopping by my podcast. If this show inspires you, makes you think, or gives you that courage to jump into action, please help by donating to this show. Click the link in the description and donate. Your donation helps us with production and finding great guests moving forward. Thank you and enjoy.
Whether you're kicking it in the sticks or kicking it at home, lounge in upholstery with a contemporary feel designed for relaxed living with the Brantley Gilbert Collection at Morris Home. Enter online at morrisathome.com/win for your chance to win a guitar personally autographed by Brantley Gilbert or one of many Morris Home gift cards to upgrade your home today. That's morrisathome.com/win for your chance to win from Morris Home.
Hey everybody, and welcome to a special show. If this is your first time here, welcome to The Jump. And The Jump podcast is bringing special guests like you and myself just to learn a little bit more. How did they get to the level they got to? What do they do to get to the next level? So stay tuned and let's get into it. Welcome to The Jump.
You know you should be doing something different, right? Hey, I'm talking to you. Do you believe that you have the gift for greatness or have a special talent, but don't have the courage to take that next step? Always wondering how others made it look so easy? Well, welcome to Jump, the show that will bring you special guests just like you and me. How did they get the courage to jump into greatness? Doing what they love and living the good life. So, get ready to jump with your host, Charles Matthews Jr.
Yes, and welcome to the show. And I'm bringing my special guest on to talk about business. You know, we're in a COVID situation, and a lot of people are wondering, entrepreneurs, do I need to be an entrepreneur? How do I get in it? What do I need to do? Sales and everything. So my next guest, hopefully, can do what we do best. Here we go. Please welcome to the show.
Hi.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I like the intro.
There you go. So before we get started, tell everybody where you're calling in from.
So I'm calling from Hampshire in the UK.
All right. So I didn't want to throw anybody off with that accent if you're like, okay, how's the weather over there?
Yeah, mate, it's all right. It's okay. It's getting a bit colder now, but I mean, in England, it's rainy most of the year, so it doesn't get terrible. It never gets too cold. We don't get Alaska, but we don't get the Bahamas either, so we're pretty adaptable.
That's good. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get started? Were you born and raised there?
Yeah, so I've always been in the UK. I'm David Angel, and I'm a sales and business coach. So I've specialised over the last 20 years of just really mastering sales and everything in between it. And being based in the UK, it's great. It's such a good location because not only do you get a lot of the entrepreneurial spirit in the UK, but a lot of people like dealing with people in England. So it's always good for the international clients. So I've actually got quite a few clients stateside, Hawaii, Asia, New Zealand. So I'm pretty widespread. With the joys of the internet now, it really makes that possible, doesn't it?
So let me ask you a question. What time is it for you right now?
4:10 in the afternoon.
So are we cutting into your tea time?
No. I'm all right. I've got 2 kids. So I've just picked them up from school. So I'm a single dad. So my kids are split with me 16 days of the month and the rest of the time with their mum. So that's a big juggle as well. Trying to do all the madness that I do, plus doing the fatherhood side, it is pretty mad. But no, you haven't disturbed tea time, so we're all right.
So growing up, how was it in England growing up? You know, what's the fun thing? What did the young boy in yourself wanted to become?
I wanted to be a fighter pilot. So I had the dream of watching Top Gun and thinking, that's me. And then I realised I was petrified of heights. So that sort of threw that out the window. I mean, if you dream of being a fighter pilot and then suddenly you know when people watch on films and they look over the side of the building, that gives me vertigo. And I know I'm sat watching TV. So literally to the extreme of it. But ironically, about 7 years ago, I done a skydive and loved it. So I just can't even fathom it. I don't know if I'm scared of it anymore or what, but yeah, I'm scared of heights but do skydive.
So you jumped out of a plane?
Yeah, and literally, I mean, like, I can watch things on TV that can make me feel sick. Like, it honestly, watching stuff in planes and helicopters, I'm fine. But when they look over the side of a building,
Uh,
stuff like that, it really, like, it makes me go dizzy. It's weird. But then I can sit in a plane strapped to a man I don't know at 15,000 feet, hurl me 130 mile an hour to the ground, and I'm like, this is great. But maybe it's because I felt like Superman, so it just took my mind off it.
there you go. There you go. So how did you get into the business? Because everybody's struggling. And I'm saying everybody. I don't care how well you're doing right now. You're struggling. How do we not struggling? How do you find a way to not struggle?
I think it starts with our mindset. I went live on my Facebook and Insta just before jumping on with you. And it was very much about this. And I was saying that when we go back, if we focus on the whole COVID, I don't get into politics and whether vaccines are right or like, we're in a situation. And what I said on my podcast was, if we go back to your time back in March, April, and everyone thought it was going to blow over in a couple of weeks, it's not going to affect me. And you know what? COVID itself hasn't affected a huge amount in compared to population. Now, for those who have been affected, you have my sympathies, and it is terrible. But no one saw it lasting this long and having the economic downturn that it had.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know those people before, and this is what I always thought. There were people before COVID that said they couldn't not go out on a Friday night. Like, it's physically impossible. If I'm not in the pub or in a bar getting drunk with my mates, I have to do it. It shows us what we are capable of. It shows us that every single person on the planet is capable of locking themselves away at home. And if they could convert that into an entrepreneurial commitment, not Netflix, you could change the world.
Yes.
But the problem is we wait to be forced into this stuff. We wait to be reactive at people telling us, you've got to do this or you're going to get arrested or you're going to get fined. Or we get guilted into it. And a lot of people were guilted into this. A lot of people haven't done it because they're scared of the government. They've done it to keep up with the Joneses. We've done it with the cars in the houses, and now it's to wear the mask. So I think if we first and foremost change our mindset from everything happens to me, and we change that mindset to what can I do with this? What can I get out of this? What can I change here? Imagine if you now, for all those people that were sat at home throughout lockdown, those people, you had furlough presumably in the States. I don't know if you called it that, where everyone's getting paid. I don't know if it's called furlough everywhere.
We're in Toronto, Canada, and then we had a project where some companies pay out, maybe it's a discount pay or have to pay, or 2 days at home, 1 day at work, 2 days at home.
Right, okay.
So we try to make it so everybody can sustain something.
Yeah, so in the UK they called it furlough, and people got 80% of their wages. We're talking millions of people. Now, this is the mindset shift that people need to change. Suddenly, you haven't got to go to work, and you're going to get paid 80% of the money.
Right.
And there's a huge amount of people out there that are like, I'm missing out on 20%. But you're at home. Imagine if you hate your job, and someone's like, listen, if I can get you 80% of your wages, but you don't have to come in, would you want to go and build a project? People have been like, yes, I'm up for it. But because they were told they can't go to work, they're like, oh my God, I love my job. I love serving people in this restaurant. Oh, I loved working in that factory. No, you didn't. You hated it. You moaned every weekend. Every Monday, you were waking up going, I hate my job. I hate my life.
Yes.
So suddenly, everyone's in the mindset now where they're like, oh, well, poor me, I'm missing out on 20%. No, you're getting 80% of your money and the opportunity to never, ever go back to that place.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes with that mindset shift. And I think with a lot of people out there, now, I get it. Listen, I get it if you were struggling with your money and you're going to struggle on your bills and you're going to. But there's a lot of things that have gone on where people I might be different in the US, but in the UK, a huge amount of people had like gaps on their mortgages. Suddenly, you just don't got to pay your mortgage for 3 months. So you're getting 80% of your money. You're not having to pay your mortgage. There's businesses that were getting loans. I saw a guy driving a Ferrari. I'm like, you don't need a Ferrari. Like, if your first thing is to go out and buy a Ferrari on furlough, like you just got your. And I'm like, people have got it switched up a little bit wrong. So I'm like, we'll change our mindset. What can I get out of this? Suddenly, everyone's at home. For the coaching that I do now, I've done it for businesses for years. And I was just at the point where my platform was ready to launch. So it's an online interactive platform. So in my mindset, I'm suddenly like, everyone's at home. People are questioning their life. This is the time to start hitting podcasts every day. This is the time to start talking online. This is the time to start giving people free training, because people start becoming open to the idea. But some people have spent 3-4 months stuck on Netflix, and they're running out. If I hear someone say to me they've run out of Netflix, and I'm like, they spend something silly like 16 billion a year creating programs. How have you run out?
Hold on. Time out. What I'm hearing is you had to change your mindset, because you feel like because people they were forced into it, they want to fight against it because it wasn't
suddenly they're a prisoner.
It wasn't their choice. But you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it that way. If you like 2 years ago, if you said to somebody, "I'm going to give you 80%, just stay home for the next 2 years,"
yeah,
it would be like,
I tell you what, you've got a dream of becoming whatever, an online marketer, an affiliate marketer. You want to set up a business. You want to start doing a YouTube channel. You want to start doing this. You want to work out how that. You want to learn Chinese. You want to become you want to create whatever it is. We'll give you 80% of your money because we hate you. We'll give you 80%. Don't come back for 2 years, and it'll give it. And people would have been like, "Oh my God, you'll never believe what's happened." They're going to give me 80%, and I don't even have to go back.
Right. So instead of looking at the downside of it, look at the opportunities that you could have done. So, for example, you're saying, for the time that you're home, you can be an entrepreneur. The time that you're home, look at other revenues. From the time that you're home, yes, you're taking 80%. Yes, you might be fighting some bills, but wait a minute. The bills that you're fighting, you need to convert. Because if you were going out to the pub, drinking all those pints of beer,
mate, 100%.
At $100, 200 quid, or whatever you're spending, that goes back into your pocket.
Wait, do you know what? One of the big things I said to someone the other day was, even if you sit on your butt for most of your day, for your working day, if you just worked in the time that you traveled to work. I know guys that spend an hour and a half traveling every day. Some people spend an hour each way. If you just spent that 2 hours a day that you would normally travel learning something new, imagine doing that every day for 3 months. Suddenly, we've got 2 hours a day. What's that? 180 hours worth of new knowledge you didn't have before.
Okay. So we have to show everybody that the mindset has to change for you to to make your business grow. Any business that you're in, or start a new business. So why are we sitting there clicking away and not learning to say, let me click for a new business?
I think for a lot of people out there, we are searching and we don't know what we're searching for. I think we are searching, hoping there's a holy grail, that there's a miracle. But when a miracle turns up, we don't believe it. So we almost have to reverse engineer everything. So we've got to be like, okay, what don't I want? Well, I don't want to work in a cubicle in an office, and I don't want to travel every day. So we start working out. We go, okay, well, I don't want to travel to work every day. I don't want to sit on the tube. I don't want to have to wear a suit. I don't want to have to work before 9 and after 7, whatever it is. And what we then work out is we then got a plan of what we want, because we know what we don't want. And then we start going, well, what's in that industry? What can I do that doesn't involve a suit, doesn't involve these hours, doesn't do this and doesn't do that? And then you go, oh, actually, I could become a digital marketer. I could become an affiliate. And then you work out where your hurdles are. And then you go and look for the jobs in that area, the experience for YouTube. Too many people are going on YouTube and typing, I want to be successful. And they're amazed they're not coming out with any big lessons. It's because you're searching for the wrong information.
Instead of saying, I don't want, you should be saying, I want to do this. I love to do this. This is what I'm looking for. I want to stay home. I want to make this amount of money at this amount of time. This is what I want. Instead, we go, I don't want to do that. Nah, that doesn't look right.
Yeah. I think for a lot of people out there, we're spoiled brats. Like, we're spoiled. Do you know when you go into, like, we go into it now, and there's a lot of things I say now, and I start thinking about I'm turning into my dad, which weirds me out. But like you go into a pub or a bar, how many beers there are? And then someone will be like, oh my God, I'm not drinking it. And you look and you're like, there's 20 types of beer. And they're like, oh yeah, but it doesn't have Moretti. And you're like, well, Moretti wasn't around 5 years ago and you're 40. What were you drinking beforehand? Like, we're snobs. People think that things are below them now. We want all the glory without going through the dirt.
Right.
We want all the we want the drink, we want the Instagram lifestyle that we tell everyone about, which is fake. And we're trying to make it happen for real, and we're shocked it doesn't happen.
All right, so hold on. I'm doing some research here. I'm looking at something right here. I want to touch on that one part, the Instagram part that is fake. All right, why do we feel like in business we have to showcase what we really are not?
Insecurity is about the ability to serve. I genuinely think for a lot of people out there, you know, when we start talking to, and this again goes into our mindset, you control your mind, you control everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a post on Insta the other day about this, and I said, think about the amount of times you update your phone, right?
Yeah.
How many updates that thing has, a PlayStation has, your laptop has. We are still working on operating systems in our brain from 95, from 2000. And we're trying to live in the modern day world with an old operating system, with the same standards, the same morals, the same beliefs. We have to upgrade our ideals. We have to upgrade what we want. We can't let the fact that Joan cheated on you when you were 16 start thinking you're not enough. Like all this stuff, we have to get rid of these glitches out of our lives and start working towards stuff. And people go to that in business. People now buy into people over products. There's too wide an opportunity. And I think people forget that. If you go for the stage, like with Gary Vee when he talks about eating dirt for a while, put yourself out there, expect criticism, expect people not to like you, but do a good job and be authentic. And you will find the people out there that like you and connect with you. You can build your tribe without having anyone within 100-mile in radius like you, because you can have your audience in another country. Right? But we grew up in a time when if you lived in a town or if you lived in a little village or a city and you weren't popular in that area, it would ruin your chances of getting a job. If you had a bad reputation, it could harbor things. When now, it doesn't matter. Like if the people don't like you where you are now, you can go to a different group. You can change. And people need to be authentic with that, because people now have got too much choice and can easily get rid of you and replace you with someone else. Where people think they have to be fake because if they know the real them, that they wouldn't buy from them.
Right. So here's the thing. Who should be an entrepreneur?
If you want to do it, anyone. But you have to be prepared. People think the entrepreneur lifestyle is all glamour. A lot of entrepreneurs work 80 hours a week to get out of the 40 hours. But they're doing 80 hours on something they like and they love. I think a lot of people out there, they go into, this is the problem I think for a lot of people, they go into entrepreneurship chasing the money. They go, these guys make a lot of money, so I'm going to do that.
Right.
But actually, the people that are making the money and they're doing well, they're passionate about that. Mm-hmm. And if you're passionate about it, you're not going to be bothered doing 80 hours a week, because you're doing 80 hours a week on something you love rather than 40 hours for someone else that you hate. Because you don't mind that. You need to love it. Because if it's going bad, if you're struggling to get clients or to sell your product, if you don't have that fallback, cracks are going to show. You end up resenting the product. You become a prisoner to your business or to your project. And then, same as with lockdown, as soon as we feel like we're a prisoner, we rebel against putting the effort in that is needed to succeed. Is it
ever too late to be an entrepreneur?
If you look at Colonel Sanders with KFC, what was he, 65 when he started with KFC? Like anything. And we live like 65 now is very different than 65 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like I've just turned 40. Maybe because I've turned 40, I feel like 40 is younger. But I remember when my dad was at 40, 45, he seemed old as hell. Like, he was grumpy. He had no drive. He was in old man syndrome, right? Where a lot of people now, you see in their 50s and their 60s, and they've got the drive that they want to go and live the life. They have the choice. You can go and become a traveling guru, backpacking around the world and taking an iPhone with you and documenting it for free on Instagram. And if you go to the right places, you're traveling the world and documenting. If you do that long enough, build up a following, you start getting 3 nights in hotels. So, I mean, you could do that in your 90s if you wanted to. There's old people on TikTok now. There's some guy on there that's got 3 million followers. The guy's been on there 4 months and he's like 94. And it's just him and his great granddaughter dancing.
Yeah.
Now he's turning into a brand.
Yes.
Right? This guy's a brand now, which is amazing. Now, would he plan that? No. And sometimes you've got to be open to the idea. He had a choice to not be on TikTok. He had a choice not to do those dances, right? And a lot of people are sat at home with the curtain shut, watching Netflix, not looking for things, and they're wondering why no one's knocking on the door and going, oh, hi, we've got a massive opportunity. Here's a big bag of money. As if that's going to happen.
Whether you're kicking it in the sticks or kicking it at home, lounge in upholstery with a contemporary feel designed for relaxed living with the Brantley Gilbert Collection at Morris Home. Enter online at morrisathome.com/win for your chance to win a guitar personally autographed by Brantley Gilbert or one of many Morris Home gift cards to upgrade your home today. That's morrisathome.com/win for your chance to win from Morris Home.
Amazon is offering sign-on bonuses up to $1,000, plus get up to $20 an hour for select roles. The best part? We're hiring near you. So start now to take home something greater. New, higher wages with a sign-on bonus, a range of real benefits, and career growth opportunities in a top-rated workplace. So earn more and see how great pay and sign-on bonuses can lead to a greater life for you. Go to amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
All right, so look, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, I want to go into what we would need to do. What's the tricks? How can we start and help some people? Because some people are like, okay, I hear him. Yes, he's right. I'm here every day watching Netflix when I could be making money. Netflix is watching me, making money off of me when I should do something to be making that money back. I'm paying whatever monthly fee for this thing when I should be getting a monthly fee for myself. Because if I can do this job at work, I can do this job over the internet.
100%.
Okay, so listen, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
CMJ Entertainment is a one-stop shop. CMJ Entertainment helps people to do any type of events, and it's a marketing tool as well. So we'll cover everything from start to finish. If it's a wedding, we'll make sure your wedding is over the top. And if it's an event, we make sure that everybody gets information at the end of the day. Give us a call at 416-414-8964 or online, go to cmjent.com.
Hey, it's okay if you're driving or too busy to take notes. Charles has your parachute packed with all the info you need to jump into success. Check out the links section for all the tools you need to land safe. Now, let's keep falling with Charles and his special guest.
Yes, we are back live with my special guest all the way from the UK, and we are talking about the greatest way to watch Netflix. So we're joking around, but if you're just tuning in, the joke is, and I guess it's not even really a joke, but it's reality when we didn't really think about it. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about when people are off right now, sitting at home, what are they doing? Okay, you could be taking yourself to the next level. You can be learning a new skill, trying something you've never done before. But instead, we have to change our mindset because we're like, oh, I'm home. Oh, this COVID thing. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh, I wish I was at work. Really? Let's talk about it, okay? First steps. You want to be an entrepreneur, which we talked about, that there's no age limit. Okay, we talked about Colonel Sanders. We talked about that old guy on TikTok. That's what 93. Does how many million? He's got more views than I do. Okay, and he's okay. So, what's the steps? How do we do about it? How do we become an entrepreneur starting off? And what tricks can you help us to get to that level?
I personally, so I'm always looking to excel, not necessarily become the greatest, but excel compared to myself. Like hitting my potential and helping my students hit their potential is my goal. What your potential is completely down to you. If your potential or your goal is to earn, and you're earning 30K a year now, and you want to get to 40, if that's where you want to be, and that's good, we work out a plan to do that. Now, that's an easy step because you haven't got to do much. A side hustle, but doesn't even do well, can make you 10K a year. Reverse engineering everything is so important.
Right.
If you're put the work in, so we've got to work out now. Okay, so first things first. So say set a target, 3 years or 5 years. Where do I want to be? What does my life look like? And we have to work back. Now, this isn't just, I want to be free of the bills or the negative stuff. We need to work out, what does my life entail? Because it is one swing at bat we get. So without the regrets, everything goes well. What would be worth you going all in, massive action consistently for the next 3 years? Okay, so if I can have this house, this car, this much money in the bank, this many holidays, I want a mobile business with a few employees, all this stuff. When we've worked out all of that stuff, then you can work out what project you want. Or you chase the hobby and you turn it into it. Or the third option is you take what you do now and become self-sufficient at doing it yourself. Because a lot of the time, people don't actually hate their job. They hate the structure which is put them around them. We all know those people that think, oh, mate, if this was my company, I tell you what, I do this, I do that. Well, actually, if you work for a window cleaning company, for a landscape gardener, you work in an office in a call center, you work as a barrister, whatever it is, put the time in and think, do I really want that? Or is it just the fact I am becoming part of my environment that loves to moan? And if you want to do it, you build a plan.
Right.
If you're going to go off and build your own one, okay, how much money do I need? How much time is it going to take?
Right.
Have I got the skills I need to do it now? Or how do I find those skills? Because you don't need to be great at everything, but you need to develop skills. One of the big things I talk to people about, you could be an entrepreneur that's got a fantastic product. You've got great work ethic, you're smart, you're likable. But if you don't know how to sell your product, like if you've got the best product, but no one knows about it, you're screwed, right? If no one knows, if you don't know how to set up an Instagram account and make a post, if you don't know how to interact and people send you a message and you write it like an old school letter, dear John, thank you kindly for your wonderful words of encouragement on my fantastic project. Now that might work with some people, but most it's not, right? But writing this big, long, dear John letter. So we have to make sure we know how to do that. Now, you've got two choices. You can do that yourself and learn on the job, or you take the learning curve down and you get people to help. For example, I'm a sales coach. I teach people how to sell. I outsource my ads. I know how to place an ad. I'm not an expert in ads. So what do? Waste 3 hours a day on tens of thousands of pounds on making ads that might work or might not, or go to someone who knows what they're doing, outsource to them, pay them X amount of money and go, right, this is what I need. Show me what you've done in this area. Once that's done, you've only got to have a chat with them once a week. Now you can focus on your product. You can go into places like Fiverr and outsource everything. The ebooks that I've had made, so all things I've got, like these ebooks I've had made, I wrote it out. I sent it to someone to proofread to make sure the grammar's right. Cost me £4. £4, right? Then I messaged someone else and I said, this is what I want it to be called.
Yep.
And I'm like, I want it to look slick and professional, something gold on it. They come back with this, £8. I got someone else to do the inside. They found the images. So this ebook, apart from the hours to actually create it, to turn it into an ebook probably cost me, I reckon, £15. But saved me a lot of headache. It saved me sitting there at tired. So do that with a few ebooks. You do a few presentations. You do your research. So outsourcing is really, really key. And we have the internet. There's never been a better time. You now, just by going on Google, have access to any question, to any answer. You can get in front of any celebrity, anyone who inspires you, anyone who's in your industry, and find their videos, find their content. So we've got to become a good student. We've got to learn to outsource. We need to know the plan of what way we're going to go, and we need to document it. So we know how to change and adapt on our processes, because you need to know after a month what you've tried, what hasn't worked, because you don't want to just follow on the same path blindly if it's not working, and vice versa. If it's going well, you want to keep doing it.
All right, so let's go back. I've been taking notes. I've been doing some stuff. And I want my listeners to know some of these things. All right, number one, right there on the screen, just start. Okay, we talked about it. I'm going to say it again about that old guy. You know, there's never an age. Just start. Okay. Number two, know your skills. All right. You talked about what you need to know. Don't be going outside your box. Okay. If you know you're not a fighter pilot.
Yeah, right. But this is the prime example. Now, on top of that, know your skills. So if you have skills you want to keep, great. If you've got skills that you want to learn, like if you want to become a fighter pilot, actually one of them would be overcoming my fear of heights, right? That might be a project I want to learn on. But initially, it's better off to outsource that until I'm able to effectively do it.
Right. Okay. And speaking of which, you said, share the load. Okay. So you can't do everything. And when you're doing everything, you're actually hindering yourself because you're wasting time on other stuff that's not really doing it that great.
Yeah.
Right. And there's companies out there like Fiverr.
Yeah.
Okay. That, you know, will
Fiverr, Upwork, there's loads of these companies. And then these are, for people who don't know what Fiverr is. So Fiverr is a freelance hub. So if you go on there now and you want to get an ebook created, you've wrote it out, you literally go in and you type in design ebook. It will come up. It will show their rating, like a hotel rating system. 5 stars. He's completed 900 jobs and he's got a 4.9 rating. You go, well, that sounds pretty good. His price, he'll show you what he'll charge you. And you go, bang, here's it. You have a quick chat and you leave them to it.
All right. And then here's what I like. And I think this is my favorite one out of them all because I do this. Your favorite teacher, your favorite coach is right here. It's called the internet.
Yes.
Okay. You can learn all you need to learn from the internet. It's right there.
It's everything's there with YouTube, especially. Now, I think the big thing for a lot of people is you can go on YouTube for free for the next 5 years and learn loads of stuff. The big difference, a lot of people are surprised when I say this. You don't need to use a coach to find the stuff. You could probably go and find a good 50% of what I teach on YouTube. But say if I teach you 50 hours worth of training, you might on YouTube need to watch 5,000 hours of training to find the 50 hours you need. Okay. So then you've got a choice. The big thing on this is, do we go off and spend more time learning it, or do we pay someone to shorten the time down so that you can become more effective sooner? So if you're on a budget, you might have to take longer to evolve because you've got to do your 5,000 hours,
right?
Your 500 hours. But if you've got the money available to you, or you see the value in investing in yourself, if your goal is to do X, Y, and Z, learning to sell. If I can show you now to go from 0 to 5K in the next 30 days, suddenly you've got income coming in. Suddenly you've got confidence, you're getting exposure, you're getting referrals. That's worth the money. Or take 6 months and do it on YouTube and take 4 months to get your first deal. Then you think it's a fluke. Then you're not sure how you really got them. Did I really get them? Did they sell themselves? the self-doubt sets in.
Yep.
And all this stuff happens. And it's all stuff everyone goes through. It's like anything. It's not just entrepreneurship. It's everything in life. People who do sports. And so for me, I did a lot of martial arts as a kid. My dad had judo clubs. So by the time I'm 10, I know better than 20-year-olds how to defend myself or fight. I'm not a fighter, but I know and have been taught, right? Some of my friends were playing football every day from being 6. So they are more effective by the time they're 8 than I have ever been at playing football, because they have put in the hours on that craft. So whatever we're doing, we've just got to put the hours in, or outsource it, someone who's already put the hours in, and then we get their reward straight away.
All right. So this is the key things. Sales, entrepreneur, change your mindset. So yes, we're at home right now during COVID. Don't be sitting there, okay? And let's put this out there, because I don't want, watch your Netflix, okay? Watch your movies, but enjoy a part of it and go out and be the person that you want to be.
Yeah.
That's the thing that we're trying to explain to everybody right now. There's downfalls. You're going to try, you're going to fail, but keep going. And that's the main part. Because with us, I think a lot of us are sitting there going, how do I move forward? How do I jump? And this is what I wanted you on the podcast, because I want everybody to get off that couch, take a chance, and jump. You never know what you can become. You never know what you might be able to do, okay?
I think it's completely true. And you know the big thing I'd say with a lot of people out there, one key thing that I always say to everyone, if you can do this and track it and note it, because listen, everyone makes mistakes. Yes. Everyone will make mistakes.
Yes.
I think you should fall fast and fail fast and recover quick, right? One thing you need to know, when you look at you're doing something, am I doing an activity or am I being productive? So this is the thing that will happen. You're online, so you're doing stuff, you're sending your messages, and then so a cool video comes up of a cat dancing on what, because you're scrolling, so you're messaging, suddenly your productivity has gone to activity. And then you've watched another video, and there's another. Now, when you realize that, you have a choice. Stop watching this now, go back to being productive and waste 10 minutes, right? Or sacrifice that time. Now, if you choose to sacrifice that time, that's on you. That's cool. You do that. But when you go to bed that night, remember that. Because what happens is we forget the activity. We think we were productive all the time. So then if we don't get the results, we're like, oh my God, I've had a shocking day. Nothing went right. I didn't do anything. Well, what did you do? Well, but people only remember, they think they were productive. So then they're like, well, I was messaging people for 8 hours. Were you? Go look at your phone. You look at, I sent 30 messages. Well, that's like 20 minutes work. What was the other 7.5 hours? The cats. It was the cats. So then you go to bed that night and you hadn't really tried.
Right.
So you beat yourself up on that. And it's better to beat yourself up for being lazy than it is to think you don't have the ability. And that's what a lot of people are doing. People are beating themselves up. People are down at the minute. People are depressed because they think I'm trying my hardest. You're not. You're not going all in. Listen, like no one's really going that all in, are they?
All right, listen, here is his Instagram. I want to put it up on the screen again, because instead of looking at cats, you should be going online looking at his Instagram, okay?
Forget the cats, unless you own cats, and then you've got your own to look at anyway.
So tell everybody where they can find you.
Easiest place, The Sales Angel. Go to the either Insta or thesalesangel.com. I post every day. I'm doing a 5 a.m. 66-day challenge at the moment to get myself off the sofa, which is different. But I post everyday content. So you can get a lot of free stuff on there. I've also, like we said, I've got this online interactive platform, which has 400 videos. Now, this isn't me trying to get everyone on that. But what I have got is I've opened up a free part of this where you don't need a card, don't need to pay anything, you don't need to commit to a contract. You can literally message me. I'll send you a link and it'll give you this ebook, a different ebook, 10 videos, a strategy call, and you don't pay anything. And it just, like you said, it helps people get started. It gives a bit of free stuff. to give you a bit of inspiration. And once you've formed that, then message me and we can talk more.
Right. And this is why my listeners, Jump fans, this is why I wanted him on the show, because are you listening? Stop hesitating. Stop saying, oh, I'm too old. Well, we checked that out the box. You're not too old. Stop saying I don't have resources. Well, we checked that off the box as well. We showed you there's many resources out there. Stop saying I do not know how to sell. Well, I'm bringing a salesperson here. He will help you. Check that box off again. What else are we waiting for? I don't have time. Whoa, you're home right now.
Get rid of the cats.
Stop again. Stop wasting time. Jump fans, this is your opportunity to be great. As my title says, success is waiting. What is your success? This is what you need to do. So my friend, I'm going to give you the last word. Why do we do it? What's stopping us? I'll give that last word to you.
I think most people out there are used to hearing stuff in our own head. And when we hear something in our own head saying, you can't do this, you're no good, you can't manage it, we think that's us talking to ourselves, and it's not. If we were talking to ourselves, we'd be saying, I can't do this. Because it's you can't do this that you're saying in your head, that's an echo from people years ago. We need to realize the echoes were not us. The echoes were from people years ago that were probably hurting themselves. We need to let go of that, and we need to start afresh today. Because if you don't do it today, it will only get harder every other day we don't.
Listen, that is brilliantly said. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you coming on the show. And hopefully we can stay in touch and
definitely
bring you back on the show again, and we can talk about part 2. I think
part 2.
Once we get started, how do we keep going?
Yes, love to do that. Let me know.
You touched on something that is key. Getting started is one thing, but staying in the race is another. So if you like the show, please comment, please subscribe. If you want to see him back on the show and we'll do our part 2, I'm more than happy to bring him back on the show because we can talk about the watching the cats and
the cats, Colonel Sanders, and everything else in between. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Cheers, buddy. See you later.
Thank you for listening. If you liked the show or have a comment, we would love to hear from you. Join our mailing list, and as always, check out our special deals links below. I hope this has inspired you to look at your life and jump. See you next week.
Amazon is offering sign-on bonuses up to $1,000, plus get up to $20 an hour for select roles. The best part? We're hiring near you. So start now to take home something greater. New, higher wages with a sign-on bonus, a range of real benefits, and career growth opportunities in a top-rated workplace. So earn more and see how great pay and sign-on bonuses can lead to a greater life for you. Go to Amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer. Amazon is offering sign-on bonuses up to $1,000, plus get up to $20 an hour for select roles. The best part? We're hiring near you. So start now to take home something greater. New, higher wages with a sign-on bonus, a range of real benefits, and career growth opportunities in a top-rated workplace. So earn more and see how great pay and sign-on bonuses can lead to a greater life for you. Go to Amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, hope you had a great time listening to the show. If you think I did a great job, please buy me a coffee. I still got a lot of work to do. We would love to hear from you, your feedback, so please click the link and leave us a review. You can help us grow by following us on all social media platforms and sharing this link. Once again, it's time for you to jump. Success is waiting.